Welcome to the Rap Soul Podcast, where we dive deep into the world of music that moves our hearts and gets our feet tapping. This is the intersection of rap and soul music from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We appreciate you for listening. Share this podcast with a friend or family member who loves music as much as you do. The podcast is hosted by 12 Kyle. Next up, the Rap Soul Podcast.
I'm going to say this, and people get mad when I say this, and there's no diss to nobody at this table.
Okay.
This is how I feel. This is my opinion. The Infamous is the greatest New York rap album ever made.
God. Right here. Right here.
Because I agree and disagree. Let me take a shot at that.
Right here, yeah.
Let me take a shot.
But you agree and disagree?
Yes, because in a lot of ways...
That point makes no sense.
Yeah, that's why I said
It does make sense.
Yeah,
Actually, it does. It does make sense.
I understand where you're coming from. But for me,
Illmatic is up there.
personally, it's Illmatic, right?
It's up there.
Right.
But for me, when it comes to the group effort, if there's no Infamous, there is no Capone
yeah.
Noriega.
And
So
I agree
you
with
got
that.
me tongue-tied, fucked up.
Shook,
Yeah,
if anybody outside of New York, if you ask them one of the beats or a beat that represent or a
Shook
song
ones.
that is Shook ones.
Paid in Full is the greatest hip hop album ever created. Paid in Full, listen, cut the music. Paid in Full is better than Illmatic.
That was my next album. That was my next album. You're telling me, because Paid in Full was the next album we're going to talk about. Illmatic was the next album we're going to talk about. So you're telling me on, Michelle Williams' internet that
Yes.
that you think Paid in Full is better than Illmatic.
Paid in Full is better than Illmatic.
Welcome to another edition of the Rap Soul Podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. I want to thank you all for tuning in as you do each and every week. Again, this is the Rap Soul Podcast. This is the intersection where we have discussions about music, more specifically hip hop, rap, soul, and R&B from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Simply put, folks, this is the best music podcast that you have never heard until right now. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube. Man, check this out. Okay. What you just heard was a clip from hip-hop super producer Ninth Wonder. And in the clip, he was speaking on Drink Champs, and he stated unequivocally that he thinks the best New York hip-hop album of all time is Mobb Deep's The Infamous. Now, listen, Ninth Wonder is entitled to his own opinion. A lot of respect for Ninth as a producer and has a great ear. But I think he may have jumped the gun. And what I wanted to do was on this episode, talk about that, not necessarily about him, but there were a lot of great albums from New York that we can choose from. And what we're going to do is, y'all know me. I always say, hey, well, what's the criteria? Because if you just ask me what's the best of something, if you don't give me a criteria, I'm just going off of my favorite. And who knows? For all we know, The Infamous could be Ninth Wonder's favorite hip-hop album from New York. So we're going to lay out the criteria in just a second. But if you're watching on YouTube, well, you can't see him because he's not there. Well, he's technically there, but he's not there. The host of the Encyclopedia Hip Hop, as well as the new podcast, Before Everything Changed, is my homie. Eclectik is back in the building. E, what up, baby?
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Eclectik, a.k.a. Al E. Shore, a.k.a. Big Potty Kane, a.k.a. Two Kleck Shakur, Pod Biv DeVoe. Is this my first time on this show?
I don't know. No, it's not, because we did LL.
Because you have so many shows.
I mean, come on, man.
You have so many shows.
Hey, listen, you had two podcasts long before I did.
That is also true, but the difference is you're them boys. So
I'm not them boys.
But I appreciate you.
It's an inside joke. I'm not them boys.
He's 100% them boys.
One of these days, I'm going to explain them boys, but not tonight.
And as everyone's looking, the biggest Jay-Z fan in the
I'm
history, in the history of Marcy Projects. So,
As I don my Jay-Z shirt.
But thank you
for those of you
for having me on the show.
Oh, for sure, man. We've been talking about it, and if you guys follow us, we've been at this forever. And it's always like a walk in the park for us. But yeah, man, when I saw that, I was like, and I saw this was months ago from the time of this recording, and I was just like, man, me and E got to come on here and talk about this. And like I mentioned before, man, I am. Both of us are very much seasoned in hip hop. That being said, you know, when you get into discussions about something that is good or great or the best, I think it has to be some type of criteria. So what I'm going to lay out for you guys is just a simple criteria that I always use. And this is how we're going to break it down. Coherence. That's going to be one of the criteria. You know, oftentimes there's a theme. Some artists is going through something. Occasionally they can produce a concept album, but it's not necessarily the rule. Sometimes the emotion of what an album delivers actually overcomes you. Good albums can conjure this type of emotion for the listener. Great albums do it consistently. Impact. Now, impact is something that is very subjective because what impact me may not impact you. Although it may not be, you know, immediate critical acclaim, the repercussions and influence of an album can be measured across time. Replayability is another criteria. There has to be enough quality songs to make the album worth going back to, from personal experience or, you know, anything in between. You want to have something that has at least more than 5 or 6 songs that you listen to. Obviously, lyrics is going to be criteria. How does the album sound? How do the words sound? How do they ring in your ear and ring in your memory? And last but not least, production. How does the album sound? How is it produced? How is it sequenced? Now those are just some of the criteria that those are actually the criteria that we're going to use to judge these albums. Now, I'm not going to ask E for, you know, his numerical breakdown, but what I am going to do is we're going to go through I've compiled a small list of great hip hop albums from New York, and I'm going to ask E, you know, like where would he rank them on a scale of 1 to 5, and we're just going to kind of get an idea as to maybe if Ninth Wonder is correct or if he may be a little bit off. So with that being said, E, let's get it started, man. I guess we should probably start where Ninth Wonder left off, the Infamous. What do you think when you think about if someone mentions the Infamous, if you had to rank it on like its coherence, what number would you give it on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest?
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You laid out criteria, which is key, but in my travels, what I've noticed is that there is a difference in what I thought about a project when it came out versus 5, 10, 15, 20 years later. When the Infamous came out, look, fact of the matter, it's top 3 album that year.
Okay, facts. I agree with that.
And so when it came out, this is incredible. Top 3 album that year. Coherence. Then, I mean, I guess now, I guess if 1 is ass and 5 is eclectic, then I'm gonna say it's about a 4, a strong 4.
Okay.
Because what that theme and coherence that you also bleeds into the production. The production made that thing seem like a even narrative. It was almost like a book. So
Okay.
I'll say a strong 4.
What about since you mentioned it, the production? If you had to rank that, where would you rank the production?
When it came out, 4, maybe 4.5. Now looking back, and it might be a 3.
Okay.
And that's putting 3 as above average. If you're going on the scale of 1 to 5, 3 is above average, 2.5 is smack dab in the middle.
Gotcha. What about the replayability? How often do you go back to this album?
I don't go back to the album in totality. I go back to, like, I'll play Eye for an Eye every day for the rest of my life. But I don't go back to the album in its entirety almost ever, never.
Okay.
So if replayability means the entire project, I'm putting it at a 2.
Okay. What about the lyrics? How does Havoc and Prodigy come off on this album?
Again, when it dropped 4.
Okay.
Looking back and re-listening and everything, it's still a strong 3.5.
Okay. And last but not least, impact. What kind of impact did the Infamous have? Not necessarily just on you, but just on the game in 1995 when it dropped.
I think it had some impact on the year 1996. I think it had a little bit of 1997.
Okay.
I think after that, not that much.
Gotcha.
Because the game changed. They were grime right when Puff didn't want any grime, and Jay-Z didn't want any grime, and then DMX ushered in a different kind of grime. So, impact right now, I'll put it in the middle. I'll put it at 2.5, maybe 3.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, folks, he's just giving you his numbers, but we're not keeping score here. What we want to do is just kind of give you an idea as to how close or how far Ninth Wonder may be away from, his proclamation, if you will.
Well, see, the thing is, when you say greatest New York hip hop album,
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, do you mean New York anthem style thing, like you play it on and that is New York, or everybody in New York is going crazy? Or is it, if you're playing it outside of New York and you play that and people are like, that's New York, that's the New York sound, that's what it is? Or are you saying that out of everything that ever came out of New York, this album is better than it? That's 3 different things.
We're going with the third. Out of everything that came out of New York, this is the best, because that's the way that I interpreted, what he said. This is the best album to come out of New York. And we're primarily dealing with New York City and the 5 boroughs, but I mean, if you got somebody from Albany, I guess they could they could be in it too, but probably not.
Oh yeah, shouts to Rochester.
Right. All right. So my thoughts on the Infamous, it's up there. I don't think he's far off. I think it's a very coherent album. Definitely replayability. I'm unlike you, E. I will go back and listen to it. And it's a very good listen, but you have to be in the right headspace to listen to it, because
Exactly.
It'll make you really want to grab the army jacket and the Timbs. But
that's for this conversation, that's a negative for me.
Okay. See, for me, it makes me want to put the Timbs on.
No. I mean, I agree, and I do have a pair, but it's when you have to either be in a mood or in a certain headspace to listen to it, then it's then it's not just throw it on.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, that is, someone throws it on, you're like, really? Are we really about to shoot up the blog right now? Is that what we about to do?
We about to shoot it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I agree with you on that. Definitely replayability. I love the lyrics. Production. It's a phenomenally produced album. It's one of the best produced albums from New York. I will say
dark,
that.
Though.
What's that?
It's dark though.
Yeah, well, it's dark as hell. And you know what? I don't think I really realized how dark it was probably until maybe a few months later after listening to it. I was like, yo, this shit is really dark. Like it's really, it is really grimy. I've never been to Queensbridge, but it makes you feel like you're in Queensbridge. So yeah, that's one album that we will put in the it's there. We'll put it in that category. Next up, the Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. What do you think about the production on this album?
I think the production on Ready to Die is solid / and this is gonna sound negative, but I don't mean it that way. Inconsistent.
Okay, that's fair.
He threw a lot of stuff at the wall. Put it like this: that even though it had a theme, the production didn't match the theme like the first album we talked about.
Okay, gotcha. Lyrics, man. Biggie, he's known as one of the greatest MCs ever. How does he sound lyrically on this album?
Lyrics are super strong. He didn't. We're not counting questionable lyrics. We're saying that he didn't say out of the entire album he might have had 2 weak bars. That's a strong ass album.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Lyrically, I mean, it's incredible. Impact. What do you think about the
he's
impact?
Supposed to represent, by the way. Impact was huge. But here's the difference, and this is what I wanted to say earlier when you were going with the criteria, because a lot of people in their criteria like to say impact, and they're saying,
and it's extremely subjective.
It's extremely subjective, and they say this one came out and it killed the streets, and this came back and everybody, everybody stopped wearing the polka dots, whatever you want to say. But the one thing people never approach, except for me, is all impact isn't positive.
This is true.
And so you made an impact. Now everybody wants to sound like that. That's not great. That is not a good thing. Now everybody's biting. That's not a good thing. Now everybody wants a juicy. That's not a good thing. But I think that the impact is pretty strong, because at that time, if you didn't have some kind of Zap Roger Troutman stolen beat by Dre, then you wasn't really doing shit. He kind of helped bring New York back to prominence, and he actually did more so than, because most people would say Nas did. But the reason why the Ready to Die was a bigger impact on bringing New York back than Illmatic was people couldn't do Illmatic. You can do Biggie.
Right.
You can imitate Biggie to a certain extent and be like, all right, that's the big flavor. I can't. I woke up early on my born day. I can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think this album. Oh, we did. I didn't ask you about the coherence. Where would you rank the coherence?
That's low. I mean, he was just rapping about whatever he wanted to rap about. It didn't matter, but it was dope. I don't think that it's a top 5 New York album of all time.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, so you don't put it in the top 5. Okay, that's fair. I think this album is a phenomenal piece of work, but I think, and I've said this before, and it's worth repeating. I think this album is a lot better. I think people think this album is a lot better than what it really was. And it's not to say that it was a bad album. I mean, I think it got, I don't know, I think it got 4 mics in the source, I think, or maybe 5. I don't know. It may have gotten 5. I don't know. I'll be honest. But I don't know that. I think part of the reason we love Ready to Die is because Biggie's no longer here. Now that doesn't mean that it wasn't loved and beloved when he was here, because it was. I just think like there's a couple of songs on there that personally I could do without, Respect being one of them. Suicidal
You're
Thoughts
so
is another.
wrong.
Respect is terrible, man.
It is
Well,
not.
the hook is terrible. I should say that. Let me not say, because his rhymes are still
also is not the hook is. But anyway, go ahead. Cook.
But I love Biggie, and I understand why it's placed where it is and why people hold it in such high regard. Let's move on to the next album, the aforementioned Sean Corey Carter, his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. When you think about coherence, how would you rank this album?
I mean, I guess if you're going theme and coherence is pretty high. It's for that project, it had a narrative and it stuck with it.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I mean, it's the tales of a hustler, a former hustler, if you will, getting out the game and all the spoils and the ills of life that went along with it. What about impact?
My first thought is almost a 0. No impact. And then I would say, and that's not to slight the guy. I'm just saying when it came out, there was a lot of shit out there. I really enjoyed this album when it came out, but people weren't like, oh, did you hear the Jay-Z? Because most people didn't know who the hell he was. But I think later on, after a couple of albums, people went back to Reasonable Doubt and liked it. But as far as like impact, like I don't think that album has had any impact on the lives of any MC, except for if you were making easy money, pimping hoes in style.
Shout out to Bleak, man. You're still one hit away. What about replayability? Playing this album again and again.
I would never. But there's a strong, he has a good spades hand of songs. He's a strong 4 that I will play anytime.
Okay.
And this is the thing that I was saying before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be in a mood to play Politics as Usual.
Okay.
Especially the remix. But I don't have to be in a mood. I don't have to be in a mood to play Brooklyn's Finest. I don't have to be in a certain mood to play Feeling It. Or Regrets. Or Ain't No. I love those songs. I don't like, and Can't Knock the House. I don't like anything else on that album.
You don't like Can I Live?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mention Can I Live.
That's my favorite song.
I was thinking 22 Twos.
What about the lyrics? How did young Sean do on this album?
For the most part, the lyrics were pretty strong. The lyrics on this album gave you the most personality that he's ever put on an album. Whether or not this album formed how people think he is, whether that is a persona or not. People think, oh, that's what he's like.
Right.
Everything after that has been kind of like taking something from whoever he's around.
Okay. Okay.
In my opinion.
And the production. What do you think about the production?
A little below average, if you ask me.
Okay.
The highs were high and the lows were like, all right, man, who cares?
All right. So would you say,
No.
without, ranking them or anything like that, you said that you thought Mobb Deep could be in the top 5. You said that Ready to Die probably wasn't in the top 5 as far as New York hip hop albums. So what do you think about this album, Reasonable Doubt? Is it in, do you think it could be put aside to be considered to be in the top 5?
It would be put aside and considered by people, but those people would be wrong.
What say you? What say you?
I say it's outside of the top 10.
Okay.
Because and this goes back into one of the topics that I had on my podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to wait until you finish the list, but based on the episode that I did and how this list is going, these are all 94. 94. Like, when you say New York, it's a lot of shit that came out before 1990.
This is
let
true.
alone 94, 95.
This
so
is
when you
true.
say all time, you're like, all right, well, let's start with Biggie. I'm like, let's not start with Biggie. But anyway, so when I say not in the top 10, I'm thinking all time in creation ever made New York centric album. And so it's like, come on.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I happen to start at Biggie. Excuse me, I happen to start at the infamous with Mobb Deep and Biggie and Jay-Z. But no, we'll touch in another decade as well. We're just getting started.
At some point, he's going to try to make it seem like Kendrick is from Staten Island, so he can sneak that whack ass rapper in.
Kendrick Lamar has people from Staten Island in his family. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, son. I think this one can be considered for a top 5. Where you place it, it's not up for discussion for me. And I forgot to mention Ready to Die. I think Ready to Die is outside of the top 5. Unpopular opinion.
Whoa.
Yes.
Are you right now on Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child's internet going to imply that Reasonable Doubt is better than Ready to Die?
Yes.
All right. Is. Continue on. It's your show.
I mean, come on, man. How long you know me? So yeah, I think it's there. And again, we won't create a top 5, but we're figuring out which. We've got 2 baskets here. So we've got a basket that's possibly, and then basket hell no. Next up, A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory, Coherence. What you got?
Middle of the road. Yeah. I mean, they had a great idea, but I mean, like half of it was Low End Theory and half of it was, what are you talking about?
What about Impact?
I think people, it's like what you were saying about Ready to Die, but I think people would think that this had a bigger impact than it actually did.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a few tracks on the album that everyone loves.
Yes.
But it didn't spawn as many offspring as people would think. And I think much like the Jay-Z, by the time Marauders came out, people went back to Peoples and Low End. It was like, oh nah, they're dope. When Low End Theory came out, people loved a couple of tracks, but no one said that's my favorite group.
Right. This is true. Speaking of, you're leading into the next one, impact. What do you think the impact was on that particular album?
I mean, I think that people middle of the road. I think the collective Native Tongues had an impact, but just this album, I don't see. It's tough because when this album came out, it almost didn't leave the tape deck. I love the album. It's just I'm trying to take my bias because in retrospect, looking back, I don't like the album as much as I did when it came out.
Same.
And so, you know, but I was classic example back in the day. I never want to hear that song again. I never want to hear that song again. But I think it had a decent enough impact. I think lesser albums had bigger impact.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I think this album was a phenomenal album when it came out. It's not one that I go back to now. I go back for certain songs. I think the last time I listened to this album in its entirety, I was probably getting ready to do a review or something like that. It doesn't have a lot of strong replayability for me. What about lyrics? What did Phife Dawg and Q-Tip do on this album?
Well, they did a lot better than they did on their previous album, but that album was written out by Q-Tip. It was a fun album. The lyrics were fine. It was very few. Wow, they said rewind moments on the album,
right?
But most of it was very easy to learn, and the beats, because you're gonna go into production, the beats were mostly great, and so it was a good combination of solid lyrics, solid production. But you know, I left my wallet in El Segundo. You got to have a story. You got to have a story on your album if you want it to be dope. Check the Rhyme. There's not a person on the planet that does not like Check the Rhyme. This is another thing about some of these albums. You can't say this about Reasonable Doubt that I could say about the Low End Theory.
What's that?
There is no one that I've never heard of anyone that does not like Check the Rhyme.
Oh, no doubt. I agree 1,000%.
I can't find a song on Reasonable Doubt that I can say that, like, you won't find somebody that doesn't like this. I can't do it.
No, they don't have a song like that. I mean, Jay-Z didn't have a song like that.
I
Not
can't
on that
do
album
it
because even the Ain't No is a fan favorite of everybody except yours truly. I hate that song.
You don't like it. I can't do that on Ready to Die. I can't.
Well, this is true. This is true.
But,
I mean, Suicidal Thoughts, come on.
I have never, I might even say that the same about jazz. I don't know anyone that would be like, man, turn that off. Nobody.
I can't think of anybody that doesn't like jazz. Not off the top of my head.
I'm just saying these are the types of things when you're going all time. It's like, yeah, but it's a lot of people. I can't even do that about Mobb Deep, the Infamous.
You know somebody that don't like Shook Ones?
I know people that's like, they could deal without it, or it's Survival of the Fittest. Like,
what kind of weirdos you know, man?
Listen, I don't say I talk to them a lot. I just say I know that they exist. Because here's the thing, and if you're talking New York album. Now, if you're talking New York album for people in New York, then I mostly can shut up. But what I'm saying is, you're saying an album made from someone in New York that I can play in Philly and Fresno.
Shout out to Fresno.
Yeah. And Charleston, and I could play it in Winnipeg, and they're like, back in the days on the Boulevard of Linden.
Right.
But they might not say there's a war going on outside.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh, saying shouts to Trump.
Stop it. Production. Your thoughts on the production on this album?
Solid. I mean, shouts to Ron Carter on the bass.
Yes, on the bass.
But Skeff Aslan.
He gets props too.
I think rest in peace. I think.
Yeah, I think I did hear the Skeff Aslan pass. Rest in peace. I think I think there are going to be a lot of people that will put this in the top 5, or say that it's worthy of being in the discussion of the greatest New York hip hop album. I personally won't give it that, but I love this album. But I realized as I got older that I loved it more back then when it came out, because I was just graduating from high school as opposed to now. But it's still a dope album. Next up, The Dog.
Oh, what dog?
DMX, Dark Man X.
Because I'm like, if you figured out a way to bring Calvin into this, I'm getting off this shit right now. I am out. I am OWT out.
Ladies and gentlemen, he hates Calvin Brodus.
That was a legit what dog? Because I was about to have no fucking parts of this.
You've never liked Snoop, have you? Not even 187 on Undercover Cop.
I did like Deep Cover. I liked Deep Cover, and I liked nothing but a G thing.
Quick sidebar, folks.
Yeah. But
if you guys have been following or been rocking with us forever, y'all know how
he ruined it, man. He ruined it. He don't do what he did.
He did Lottie Dottie, man.
You know what? You don't do that. You know, and shut up. Also, shut up. Don't stop acting like you're not hard. You're not tough. No, you weigh 7 ounces. Don't fucking East Coast say got love for shit. That. All right. Okay. All right. Anyway, different dog. Let's get back to
the Dark Man X, The Dog.
One Love Boomer.
Shout out to Boomer.
Now, here's the thing. I am different. Well, we all know this.
Very much so. One of my most differentest friends, if that's a word.
We're gonna make it a word today.
Okay.
Here's the thing that I have about DMX. DMX, I can't listen to a whole album of DMX.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't care if it's Flesh. I don't care if it's Dark. I can't. I won't. I shan't.
Okay.
It's too much of the same. Like, stop yelling at me. Stop barking at me. Now, I say all that to say, when that man is a featured guest, it is always flames.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songs, I mean, Get At Me, Dog, is fucking incredible. How's It Going Down? Stop Being Greedy.
Yep.
But Rough Riders Anthem. But that album, far too many tracks. And not as many good tracks. The ratio is off. So
very top heavy.
But when it came out, he shook the streets. Didn't nobody see it coming. He was different. People didn't have Pac. It was a whole thing. But this album, what we're talking about, what we're here to say, this album, not the album. Now, if you want to go through and say some of the greatest New York songs, now you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nah, not this album. And the production, I'm not a Swiss guy.
Okay.
The impact was crazy. The impact through the roof because you had shout outs to 9. You had people. You had
What the hell is 9?
He's giving people what they want. Any MC that disagree with me, wave your arm was dope. But yeah, he had a great impact. He doubled up on the albums that year.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the impact that this album had was it brought some grit and it made people want to either use or copy his style and his production.
I would agree. I think I mean lyrically X is X. I mean, he's not going to wrap you up under the table. Production wise, I'm cool with Swiss Beats. I'm not like a big huge Swiss Beats fan, but I can appreciate but something you said, it registers with me, especially when you think about the replayability of this album, and the same with DMX. And I say this as someone who loves DMX, but I rarely go back to his albums and just play them all the way through. I'll pick songs. Some of the songs that you named are straight up heat smokers.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I listened to
The Convo.
I mean.
ATF.
Nah, I haven't. I remember those songs, but I haven't gone back to those songs, and I haven't gone back to this album in particular. And Flesh My Flesh, I mean, I probably can count on one hand how many times I've listened to it all the way through.
But anytime someone plays Niggas Done Started Something, you are never turning it off.
Oh, I'm turned up.
You are never turning off Stop Being Greedy.
No, never, ever. You know, where the hood at? I mean, I'm listening to all of that. But, you know, and those songs weren't on this album. But you get the point. I'm not. It's Dark and Hell is Hot is a very, very good album. There will be some that will mention it in the greatest, but I don't think it's. I'm going to have to put that in the other category that is not worthy of this discussion.
No.
Next up, we go to 1988. The group.
Greatest year of hip hop.
Of course it is. The group Public Enemy, the album It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. All right, man. How coherent is this album?
It's the most coherentest album on the list thus far. The infamous might be messing with it because it was just a narrative. But this Nations of Millions, yeah, man, 4.5 on that. I mean, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm. What will you say about the impact and the replayability? Because I know for me, this one hit hard as far as impact and the replayability. This is still to this day, and it's not just because it's one of my favorites, but it's still an album that I listen to once every 2 or 3 weeks. Like it literally has never fallen out of my rotation.
So unlike a West Coast effort, this album is super dope, even with Party for Your Right to Fight.
How dare you?
Listen, I'm just saying. But replay, even though on the replay, most people, I feel, would skip maybe 3 or 4 songs, including Party for Your Right to Fight. I don't know how many people. Put it like this, and I'm being unbiased. I don't think a lot of people are gonna listen to Cold Lampin'. That's my favorite song.
Yeah, that's your favorite song.
But I don't know how many people are gonna be like, oh yeah. But Can I Get a Witness? I don't know how many. I don't even know if I'm listening to Cold Can I Get a Witness. And I don't know, and it's the interludes. Sometimes, and I'm like, get to the song. I don't know how many. I don't know how many people listening to Terminator X on To the Edge of Panic. But other than those, listen, incredible album, so much replayability. The impact on this impacted the streets and the people who stayed away from the streets and made people not want to be in the streets. And then it made the people in the streets fucking go get a new Serum Vega amp and and a couple of 18s. So it's everywhere.
Yeah, the production on this album, we've talked before about the Bomb Squad.
This might be a top 5. This is a top 5.
Yes. I mean, like, sonically, this album, even to this day, still sounds like a walking earthquake. Like, I mean, like, it is, the sounds are everywhere and they hit you in so many different ways. And to your point, yeah, you would want to go get new speakers because you just might blow your speakers listening to this album. I think it's worthy of the discussion as far as the top 5. Is definitely worthy of the discussion of being the #1 New York hip hop album of all time.
And it has to be because it's in the discussion of one of the greatest hip hop albums, period.
Fact.
So if it's one of the greatest hip hop albums, period, and damn sure it's one of the greatest New York.
Exactly.
Also, side note,
Go
not
ahead.
even my favorite Public Enemy album,
Of
and
course it is.
I'm going on about it like this.
You love Apocalypse Now.
I do not. My favorite is Yo Bum Rush's Show. I think Yo Bum Rush's Show is a superior album, but
I don't
whatever.
think so.
No one does except for me and maybe the third S1W from the left.
You and Ralph Ridenhour. Y'all are the only two. Next up, let's go back to 95. The Purple Tape. For those of you at home, scoring at home, it is called Only Built for Cuban, Linx by Raekwon the Chef. Featuring Tony Starks, a.k.a. Ghostface Killer.
This could also be a top 5.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, it's definitely the production is crazy. The lyrics, if you're not a Wu-Tang fan, it may take you a while to kind of figure out what the hell they're saying. But, you know, unlike us, I mean, we didn't have Genius in 1995. You can go look it up. Replayability, it's called a Purple Tape for a reason. It is one of one. So I'm always playing this album. The impact, it was, I think it's the best solo Wu-Tang album. And that's saying a lot because there were a lot of great solo Wu-Tang albums, but I think it's personally the best. And I think it's a coherent album. Particularly if you're a fan of Wu-Tang. Now, if you're not a fan, if you just picked it up, it may take you a second to understand what they're talking about. But I think, you know, coherence is probably maybe in the middle of the road, but everything else is superior on this. What say you?
I say, if you're not a Wu-Tang fan, you're probably not going to pick it up at all. But if you do pick it up, you'll still find something that if you pick it up, you are still going to enjoy Ice Cream.
Yes.
If you just pick it up, you're going to enjoy Can It Be Also Simple, even though the original is better than the remix. You will enjoy Rainy Days.
Yes.
And you might even enjoy Incarcerated Scarfaces. So this is just, if you just come and you're like, I don't really even mess with them like that, or what's a Wu-Tang, you'll enjoy those.
What's a Wu-Tang? That's funny.
But the impact was crazy. After this, everybody had an AKA. Everybody had a second name. Everybody was in the mafia. I mean, everybody had a Gambino name, and this started it. This was where it came from, and I was so upset that it didn't continue as much as it could have. But this is a moment in time, and if you're gonna go New York,
right,
then I mean this is it. I will also go and say, as of yet, and now someone could call in Blog Talk Radio right now, and
shout out Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, someone could call in or send a message and correct me, but I don't know anybody that doesn't like ice cream.
No, I can't say that I've ever heard someone talk bad about ice cream from Raekwon. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Everything that you said, I think this album is definitely up there for the, best of the best as far as what New York City has had to offer. It's hey, like I said, it's one of one, man. There's so many other superlatives I can give this album. Let's see what's next.
What's NXET?
James Todd Smith, 1990s. Mama Said Knock You Out. You sound a little disappointed.
Well, I mean, you didn't pick his best effort.
Well, time out. What do you think his best album is?
Bigger and Deffer.
Okay, let's do that one. Let's scratch that. Let's pun the replay. Let's rerun it back. Bigger and Deffer.
Now, Bigger and Deffer, just off rippity rip is top 10 to me. Gonna get in the top 5? Probably not. But depending on how you look at it, because the highs, I would say the highs of this album are better than the highs of any album we talked about so far.
Ooh.
Because
you podding now.
because from what we've talked about, outside of Fight the Power, maybe, a Juicy, that's it. Nothing's up there with Bad and I Need Love. Nothing. Not a one. As far as hit the streets, hit the radio, longevity.
I would say Juicy's probably better. Juicy's a bigger hit if we're talking hits.
I don't think it's bigger than I Need Love.
I think it is.
But what I'm saying is this. The Bad and I Need Love, that's what's at the highest is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
These other ones, you're not going, it's not happening like that. Also, just as and lyrically as dope. But anyway. And then if you go into the album and listen to the rest of the album, the doo-wop and Candy, and Gold Cut Creator Growth, the breakthrough. If you systematically break it down, yeah, it's one of those ones, but it doesn't have the backing. It came out, put it like this, the people that would vote for it aren't on the internet. Right? You know what I'm saying? So that's why most lists start with Biggie and Pac, because those are the people who, if when you were born, you had the internet, the people that listen to this, when they were born, they had an abacus.
Abacus.
But I think that this is his best effort. I think that there's not a bad song. Unlike almost everything that we talked about, this doesn't have a bad song on it.
I think, well, we talked because you and I did a breakdown of that album. I love that album. I think it may be a better album than Mama Said Knock You Out, but I am a bigger fan of Mama Said Knock You Out than I am of Bigger and Deffer. But I'm not going to argue about Bigger and Deffer.
No, Mama Said Knock You Out, damn near shit platinum. It was, but don't nobody care about Farmers Boulevard. I do. Nobody care about. Don't nobody really. I mean, the Power of God and Illegal Search. You hate 6 Minutes of Pleasure. I love 6 Minutes of Pleasure.
It's okay.
Was Milky Cereal? Of course, it's great, but most people aren't going to go to Milky Cereal.
No, I'm definitely not going to Milky Cereal.
Exactly, but on Bad, it's like, nah, that one, that song too. That's Candy. Yep, no. But my rhyme ain't done. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I love Candy.
See, so
I
anyway,
feel good about it.
fucking right. Now latest Gumdrops Jelly Beans.
Oh,
So
man.
I think it's a top 10 though.
Okay.
Honestly, if
That's
all
fair.
things considered, and the impact was crazy.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, because that was the album that propelled LL to superstardom, I think. Not that he wasn't on I Can't Live Without My Radio, but that was the buildup. That was the first album. Bigger and Different was the second album. And I mean, you know what happened on that album. on the Bad
Yeah.
video, and they took Keisha.
I mean, they did.
I mean, Tasha, I'm sorry.
No, they took Tasha. How dare you?
They
They'll
took
never get
Tasha.
away with this because LL is bad. But yeah. But I think LL has the most classic albums of anybody. But I don't think that he has a top 5 New York album of all time. I think he has a top. I think he might have 2 top 10s. He might have 3 top 10s, but he
Okay.
does not have a top 5.
Okay, that's fair. All right, let's stop playing around.
And he's the GOAT.
1987, Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full.
Okay.
I think, it's often mentioned as the greatest hip hop album of all time. So I'm just going to skip the parameters and just say I'm putting it over here. It's definitely in the discussion for the greatest New York album of all time. What say you?
If you're talking hip hop New York albums of all time,
Mm-hmm.
you asked me. It's number 1. Paid in Full is the greatest hip hop album ever created. Paid in Full. Listen, cut the music. Paid in Full is better than Illmatic.
That was my next album. That was my next album.
I said it. I meant it. Bite my tongue for no one.
So you're telling me, because Paid in Full was the next album we're going to talk about. Excuse me, Illmatic was the next album we're going to talk about. So you're telling me on, Michelle Williams' internet that
Yes.
that you think Paid in Full is better than Illmatic.
Paid in Full is better than Illmatic, even with Chinese arithmetic on it.
Wow.
Chinese arithmetic.
Are we recording this? Are we recording? Okay, we are. We're recording this. Okay.
It is better than Illmatic.
You know what, man? I probably up until sometime earlier this calendar year wouldn't have even thought about it, but I think Illmatic is right there. I mean, and you know how much
right there.
It's right there. Like
no, it is right there.
It's right there.
If it's not 2, it's 3. But Paid in Full is 1.
Okay.
And I will hear nothing of it.
That may be.
And let me explain that. Let me explain the reason.
Please do.
Let me explain the reason. The reason, as Philip Bailey might want you to know, yeah, is this came out in 87.
Right.
The beats and the lyrics are comparable, and in a lot of times better than what Nas was saying damn near a decade later. So if you can, no, I'm telling you, please.
Listen, I'm here. I'm digging what you're putting down.
Because when Nas was right, again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying maybe 1A and 1B,
right?
But 1A is Paid in Full. I start to think, and then I sink into the paper like I was ink. When I'm writing, I'm trapped between the lines. I escape. When I listen, his lyrics.
That's one of the greatest lyrics ever.
I take 7 MCs, but his lyrics were so far beyond 87.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. The Illmatic lyrics were killing everybody that year and maybe the next year.
Right.
The Paid in Full lyrics killed everybody until Illmatic came out. And even then, you would listen to stuff that he say turn up the bass, check out my melody, hand out a cigar. I'm letting knowledge be born and my name stuff. It's no. I will have nothing. You can't tell me different.
I'm not here to convince you or anyone else. I just think, like you said, it's 1A, 1B. There's a discussion to be had. I don't know if, and truly it's like splitting hairs for me.
And you know what else? And this is the last thing I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
And this might be no fault of Illmatic, no fault of Nas at all.
Mm-hmm.
But Paid in Full spawned like 5 all-time greatest hip-hop singles of all time. So you got Eric B. is President.
Mm-hmm.
I Ain't No Joke.
Yep.
My Melody.
Mm-hmm.
Now some people won't give it to I Know You Got Soul, but I would.
It's up there.
But Move the Crowd and the title track, Paid in Full.
Paid in Full, yeah. I mean,
Illmatic does not have this.
No, Illmatic's not. It's
Put
not
it like this.
No.
Here's the difference. Paid in Full has 4 or 5 greatest hip hop songs ever made. Illmatic has really, really great songs.
I mean, New York State of Mind,
none on that list.
Life's a Bitch.
Life's a Bitch is fucking incredible. But Life's a Bitch is not President, it's not Joke, it's not Melody. It's not. It's just not.
Right. Okay. Oh, you know what, man? I'm not for time's sake, I'm not gonna argue, but this is a discussion that we'll probably have to come back to.
Yeah, we're gonna do a versus.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we've knocked down Paid in Full and Illmatic. Next up.
Illmatic, yeah. So far, if you're keeping track with me, I have 3 top 5.
Okay. Well, your room is about to get a little crowded here because we're going back to 1987.
I might have 4 top 5. I got Nations a Million. I got Paid in Full, Illmatic. And I had one more. I thought I did. No, Purple.
Yeah, Purple
Tape.
Yeah,
Purple Tape.
Yeah.
So I got one left.
So the room is getting crowded here because we've got Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded.
And that's the 5th. We're done. I'm done. My list is up. My top 5 is up. I'm out.
This dude is funny. I think this is one of the greatest albums ever. It is definitely a New York album, definitely in the bucket of discussion for best New York album. I don't have it as the best New York album, but it's in the discussion. If someone said that they had it in there, as the #1 New York album, I'm not going to argue with you. This is a phenomenal album, and it's gotten better as time has moved along. And, from the production doesn't wow you. It sounded like something sounded in 87 for somebody who was born in, 96. South Bronx might sound production wise might sound very elementary to you.
Pun intended.
So you caught that. But I think when you look at the lyrics, when you look at the overall landscape, trust me, the impact was crazy with the Bridge Wars. There's a case to be made that Criminal Minded should be in consideration for the greatest New York hip hop album. I know you said that this is your favorite album, and this closes out your own personal top 5 of New York albums, which we didn't really intend to, but E managed to do it anyway, which is why I have him on the show. But yeah, talk to me about this album.
This album is for young people. If you go back and listen to it, this is watching Barry Sanders highlights. That's what this is. You're like, look, I've been watching B.I.G kill it. I see Jameer Gibbs kill it. It's like, yeah, but look at this. And he was like, well, it's not Emmitt Smith. He got the most shots. No, it's not. It's not the one that but watch this.
Right.
And then when I can tell you a story about South Bronx, when I can tell you a story about The Bridge Is Over, and then when you can listen to Criminal Minded, when you can look at how people are rapping right now, and then I can tell you about Super Ho.
Scholar Rock had them all.
And when you listen to how people going in and shooting people up, and I tell you about 9mm Goes Bang, and how when people rhymed, they rhymed to be better than you, and they rhymed to educate you. Well, he did because he's the teacher. And when it was a song and it had a title, that's what the song was about.
Okay.
And so, but this album, this is one of the, for me, this is the only hip hop album that I've listened to that it doesn't have a single song that I could do without.
Okay.
Every other hip hop album I've ever listened to, including my 1A and 1B, has a song on there where I'm like, all right.
You know you listen to Chinese arithmetic.
I will never listen to Chinese arithmetic or Eric B is on the cut.
Oh man.
And my favorite song on Illmatic is no one's favorite song.
Clearly it isn't. What's your favorite song in Illmatic?
One Time for Your Mind.
Oh yeah, nobody. I don't even think Nas's cousin, his favorite song is One Time for Your Mind.
No one's, and so it's not, I'm not chalk. I don't play the hits, but I could do without Halftime. I could.
Not me.
I love Halftime, but what I was saying is that every album I've ever listened to has a song where I can be like, except for this one. I can't do without anything on this album.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so Eclectic has so far basically shut down his list. So
I shut down my top 5, but listen, you might have something else on the list. I don't know how many more you have on your list.
We got a few more. So
I'll tell you if it's tough, and I want to squeeze them in the top 5, and I'll be honest. I'm not gonna just say, well, I said 5, that's it, nothing can get in there, because as soon as I said I'm done, in the back of my head said, Great Adventures exists.
Right.
And I'm like, it does, but so does Indian Girl. So,
shout out to Indian Girl.
Yeah.
So let's run through a couple, because I only have a few more. And these are just random albums. So if I haven't said an album that you think should be on here, don't listen. I just randomly pull these albums. Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Mecca and Soul Brother.
I like Main Ingredient better, so no.
Okay. Let's try. A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders.
I think Incredible is not as Dennis Green once said, it's not what we thought. It's really good. But it's not. No, I'm not. I can't do it. I can't do it.
That might be in my top 5.
Fushnikins, F you, don't take it personal.
Right.
Shout outs to Ring the Alarm and La Schmoove.
We ain't got nothing to prove.
That's it.
How about Joe and Daryl? Raising Hell, Run-D.M.C.
I would say if you take my personal list out of it, my personal personal, that would be a top 3 pick. Personally, it's not. But if I'm going to be unbiased and say, listen, from New York hip hop all time, that has almost as much of a case than Paid in Full.
Exactly.
If I were being super unbiased and want to say, bring it back to New York rap, I would slide it right under Paid in Full and before Illmatic.
There you go. Yeah, I think it's a top 10. I couldn't put it in the top 5, but this album, man, there's not too many. I can't even think of any skip. What's a skip on that song, on that album? I can't think of a skip.
When I was young, it was Proud to Be Black.
Oh, come on, man.
And then I said when I was young,
you ain't nothing.
When I was young, and then as I got older, it was You Be Illin'.
Oh, come on, man.
I was like, I already know the jokes. I already know the punchline. I don't care now.
I'm gonna listen to that tomorrow. It's been a minute since I've heard that.
Small fries, Big Mac.
You Be Illin'. How about
1994's Creep With Me? Listen.
No, I wasn't
gonna... What? I'll take her.
Hell no.
This is for my homies. Where are my homies?
Hell no.
Chill with that. Get with this as you chill with that.
Listen.
What?
If y'all listening, y'all understand that this man just ran off Ill Al Scratch. Y'all know I don't even know how Ill Al Scratch makes their way into our episodes sometimes. I'm surprised he hadn't mentioned Granddaddy IU to thus far, but maybe he's not from New York. I don't know.
Man, Smooth Assassin, a former member of the Juice Crew.
Is he from New York or New Jersey?
Nah, he from. What are you doing?
I mean, I'm asking. I don't know. I know that's your best friend.
Rest in peace, God. Rest in peace. Yeah. Oh man, Smooth Assassin is one of the greatest hip hop.
Okay, let me find another. How about Wu-Tang Enter the 36 Chambers? Come on now.
It has tears on it.
That may be the only flaw.
And I mean, listen, this is what I'm saying. And I'm looking at this differently.
You can make a case for this top 5.
No, I couldn't. I could not.
I could. It may not be in my top. It won't be in my top 5, but I can make a case that it should be in top 5.
Because if I'm putting on my New York hat, and I'm in New York, it's still maybe. Shit.
As I put on my New York Yankees hat.
It's 12 over, y'all. So if I put on my New York hat, yeah, maybe. But if I'm playing it anywhere else, no, they'd be like, "No, we already got Purple Tape in there. We good."
Okay.
Granddaddy I use from Queens, by the way. Well, yeah.
I did not know.
Long Island. You move Long Island, but yeah.
Okay. All right. I know the people who are listening and watching on YouTube, they are yelling at the screens because there are 2 albums from Sean Carter that I have not mentioned, the Black Album and the Blueprint. Are those
okay? So you don't have to. so everybody that's yelling at the screen, he mentioned them.
I can't. I love both albums. But I can't. I'm not gonna put the Black Album or the Blueprint in a New York top 10. It's outside of the top 10. Where you put it, I don't care. But there are 10 albums from New York better.
Kyle's making the pod cry.
Can't see it coming down my eye.
Oh man, he had to make the pod cry.
So I gotta let the pod cry.
I 12 veto.
Oh, I hate that song.
You 12 veto. You them boys and you 12. You are them boys and you 12 veto.
No,
you 12
I'm not 12 veto. I'm not. Life After Death, Biggie.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's gonna be on somebody's list. It's not.
Yeah,
on mine.
but the people whose list is on right now are 28.
No, they might be 38. Because Biggie was their hero when they were like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no. Even though you can make a strong case that it's better than Ready to Die.
I personally enjoy it better than Ready to Die. I don't necessarily know if it's better, but I enjoy it better than Ready to Die, if that makes sense. You mentioned Slick Rick. What about Slick Rick? Great Adventures.
Indian Girl.
Come on, E. Come on, E.
Indian Girl. If Indian Girl wasn't on there.
If Indian Girl's not on there, that it might be number
It's top
one.
5.
Yeah, it's definitely top 5.
It's definitely top 5. It might be top 3 if Indian Girl is not on there.
Indian Girl's a bad song, man. It is.
It just
it's bad.
and
Boogie
I
Down
can
Productions.
understand how people wouldn't like Let's Go Crazy. You mean By All Means Necessary.
By All Means Necessary, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Incredible album, but that's still in the top 10 for me. It's not
Really?
top 5
You got it in the top 10?
I got it might be 9. it might be 10.
Okay.
But
okay.
because that album is super solid.
Okay.
I mean, we got Jimmy, we got My Philosophy,
yeah.
we got Slippin', we got Nervous, we got Stop the Fuck. No. It's see, I'm bouncing back and forth from New York centric
Right.
to everybody. If I go everybody, like the song goes, then it probably
don't go everybody.
If I go everybody,
that sounds on my fucking head. Oh my god!
But then it's not top 10. But
okay,
it sneaks in there.
Yeah, I love it, but I couldn't put it in the top 10. I couldn't put it over Criminal
Minds.
Minds.
You just got super loud. I don't know why are you yelling at me all of a sudden?
Am I loud?
That's okay.
Okay. So yeah, I think it's probably in the top 20, but I couldn't find a way to put it in the top 10 or top 5.
All right. Skills to pay the bills. Positive K. What are we doing? Where we at?
No, Skills is not making top 100 New York albums.
Damn it.
In conclusion, man, I think this was a really good exercise. Like I said, I wanted to get you on here because I think we're not saying Ninth Wonder's wrong. I mean, obviously he's entitled to his opinions. Opinions like assholes, everybody got one, right? That being said, I think he may have been caught up in the moment, which is, something that happens on podcasts, but he sounded pretty, in tune with his conviction as far as whether or not he thought that this was the greatest New York hip hop album of all time. We threw out, I don't know, 16, 17 albums there for you guys to digest. Feel free to.
He did not mention Into the Stage.
I didn't. I mean, again, there's quite a few that I could have mentioned, but Into the Stage, I don't.
Into the Stage is up there. He didn't mention any. By the way, he mentioned no women, but we know Kyle hates women.
I mean, listen, I love women, and if I had mentioned Paper Thin, you would have walked off the podcast.
Well, it's light as a rock. But anyway, he hates women. He hates women.
I love Light.
He did not mention Strictly Business.
No, I did for a particular reason.
He didn't mention any offerings by De La Soul.
No.
I mean, you're gonna mention 2 Tribe Called Quest.
This is just randomly picked the album. So I mean, De La is
License to Ill. He didn't put License to Ill on there.
I mean,
he did.
We don't want to have a 7-hour podcast.
But Creep With Me, everybody. Go listen to Creep With Me.
Do not. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, man, tell folks where they can find you, where you can check out your podcast, man.
Yo, you can find me
Creepy.
coming around the way of Ill and Al.
Around my way.
Yes.
Was that you that tagged me on a tweet from Ill Al?
Maybe.
I think it was. It had to be because I don't even follow that guy on Twitter.
Well, I do.
Of course, yeah, it was you. Now that I think about it, it was you.
It's Big Hill, the apple and bum. Don't try to. Don't let me. All right. Anyway, look. I honestly, everybody, if you can search for the Encyclopedia Hip Hop Podcast and listen to it, or if you before easy, as they say. If you can find it Before Everything Changed podcast, that's all you got to do. I'm not going to try to ask you to follow me on social media because social media is shit.
It is.
But if you want to, those same things, I have an account. I'm going to post some stories about some dope hip hop shit or something that happened back in the day. But I'm not going to bother you. I'm just listen to the podcast though. The podcast is crazy.
No doubt. Well, you guys have been listening long enough. All of my information is in the show notes. I'm not about to run it down to you. Check out the website, the rapsoulpodcast.riverside.com. That's where you can find all the episodes. Don't forget about the flagship station, the 12 Kyle Podcast. You can also find the 12 Kyle Podcast.riverside.com. It's all there. And that's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for checking out this edition of the Rap Soul Podcast. I am your boy 12 Kyle. We'll catch you guys next time. 5,000. Cheers.
Thank you for listening. This concludes the episode. Be sure to subscribe to the Rap Soul Podcast. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the podcast on social media. And feel free to continue this discussion on our Reddit page. More importantly, share this podcast with a friend or family member who loves music as much as you do. Until next time, 5,000.